So, I mean, I don't know if you want to go into super great detail, but have you had any conversations with Kelly Zinn, and what's been
Yeah,
your
that's a
initial
good
impression of her?
Yeah, good question to start. She's been awesome. She's going to be really good for wrestling. I'm sure I'm not going to get into specifics on what she's going to do for me and our program, but it's going to be it'll be a very healthy relationship. She loves wrestling. I think she sees the value of this place being packed and crowded. I think she sees years of recent success and thinks we can be better, and she's right. So I think there'll be a tremendous amount of support, but I'll let her kind of fill you guys in on what she'll do for wrestling in the future.
Softball question. What does your lineup look like right now?
Softball question. It's actually a lot harder than you think. We'll have indicator matches, which to me, you guys know, mean very, very little. But we have a lot of different roster spots that are up for grabs, meaning there's some incredible depth. There's some really good guys. I know as reporters and media, we automatically pencil people in, and even as coaching staffs, you kind of pencil guys in because of what they've done in years prior. But there are a lot of roster spots, just completely transparent, because you know how I am, Steve. 25 will be a 25 will be a spot. 49 is incredibly challenging. 57 is incredibly challenging. 65 is incredibly challenging. 97 is incredibly challenging. And there's some others, but for the most part, those are the weights that we will have to figure out through the first semester to give the best possible lineup to do well in March.
Who are you looking at 25?
Well, we have a transfer, a local kid from Old Bridge, Pat Adams, that has wrestled in the Big Ten. Win-loss wise hasn't had much success, but he's a big kid, so he transferred in. And then we have Aiden Smith,
Right.
who we think the world of, still trying to get bigger. So those two will be the they'll be the guys all year long, and we'll figure it out. Aiden comes with a lot of accomplishments. He's had a pretty good redshirt year last year. He's very, very good. Was great for Dean. He got a lot better last year. But you know, we worry about his size right now, so we got to get him bigger. But he's super talented, so those two will work it out at that weight.
And who's at 49 with Andy?
There's a slew of guys, but I would say Alex Nini.
He's there.
Alex Nini and Andy Clark are probably, and then you know we got Devin Magro, who is a really good freshman. So we got to work out what's going to happen. We still don't know what they're going to do 5 for 5 right now. So we still have red shirts available. So if that stays the pace, we'll be smart with those. But Devin Magro and Tyre Parkins, Chapman, I'm just thinking guys right now off the top of my head, they will absolutely get their 5 dates if that stays the rule. So they're very, very good. So, and there's others in that class, but that's kind of where we're at lineup-wise, if that makes sense. I think heavyweight, we know our heavyweight, as long as he stays healthy, could have a very good year. Hunter Kaka, and obviously Lenny Pinto, Shane Cartagena-Walsh, 74-84. I think that seems fair to say right now they would be our guys, and Joey Oliveri, Dylan Shawver. But there's competition there. There's competition there, and even at 41 with Joey, you know, Tyre Parkins is very good, but again, same situation we've been in the past with some really good freshmen that probably could use a year if they're able to
And
get
65 is Barbosa and White.
No, Barbosa and Ford. Anthony White will go down to 157 and challenge for a spot there. So that makes it a little bit different. There's a lot of experience there, and going down in weight, he's probably a little bit stronger than he was at 65, obviously. So it was his decision to do that, and there's like 7 guys there, but probably would think, you know, off the top of my head right now, Connor and Anthony will kind of figure that out.
And the redshirt year might be in play for Connor.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Scott, All-Star Classic coming up right around the corner. What's the hype around that, and what's it mean for you guys to have that here?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool to be able to host that. We've hosted some really neat events here. Final X, the New Jersey State Wrestling Championships, some great dual meets. We've hosted a lot here, and this is like just another event that I've always wanted to host. The hype around it, I think because of Super 32, Flo puts a lot of time into that. So now I think you'll start seeing it. It's great to have Jersey guys in it. We're super excited about Rutgers guys being in it. Shawver and Pinto obviously choose, but there's a lot of Jersey flair. Like Pinto will wrestle Simon Ruiz, so that's a Del Barton kid. And there's some Lehigh flavor to it, which is really important. Brignola is a Rumson kid, so there's another Jersey kid. So there's some Jersey, there's some Rutgers, there's some Lehigh. Weren't able to get Penn State guys. There are a lot of those guys are wrestling in the World Championships next week. So I think it's a great event. It starts the year every single year. We've been fortunate in the past. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ashnault and Richie Lewis won in this event in 2017 out in Cleveland. So a huge honor to compete in it. It's a better honor even to win. So that's going to be and we have two, I think Lenny's 0-2 against Simon. And obviously Lucas Bird is a defending national champion that Dylan Shawver's got to figure out. So we look forward to those matchups.
Coach, last year you talked about, kind of being tired of number 14 in the country. You guys finished number 11 ranked. So is that the expectation this year? Is that kind of the goal?
I've thought about this quite a bit, and I knew this would be asked. I knew I'd be, and I've thought about it a lot. And this is going to be, no, it's great. It doesn't matter what we do. It matters in March, right? And I love dual meets, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The dual meets aren't going to matter. I have to figure out March in a bigger way. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I think we have a really, really good lineup. I think we are going to put 10 guys out every single night that can compete with the best teams in the country. But can we win in March? And I think we'll have, heck, if you look at it, again, being completely transparent, Shawver, Oliveri, Pinto twice, Hunter Kaka are all round of 12 guys. They're blood round guys. So how do they break through? That's my job. Somehow we got to figure out March. It doesn't matter what we do. We're going to win a lot of dual meets this year. We're going to be very tough to beat, even against the best teams in the country. It's going to be super exciting. We're going to pack this place. It's never going to matter. I know. I understand that now. So I got to figure out. Last year we had a bad half an hour. A bad half hour on Friday night, right? So all we did last year, 12-5, 5-3 in the Big Ten, finished 11th in the country from a dual meet standpoint. It was the Friday night, the 30 minutes on Friday night. So that's kind of what the expectations are that tournament. And I got to really wrap my head around. The process is super important. The year is super important. I love dual meets. I love fans. We're fortunate enough to wrestle in front of thousands and thousands of fans each and every night. But I'm going to keep in mind that we are going to be really good in March. That's what I got to truly focus on.
What was that postmortem like when you left, Wells Fargo at the end of last year?
It was the same as 2011. We had the same thing happen in 2011. We had 3 guys in a round of 12 all lose. So that Philadelphia has not been good to me. I don't ever want that tournament there again. But truth be told, it's hard. It's hard. We're right there. We're this close to being a top 10. Finishing in the top 10 again, and we didn't get it done. So that's really hard. And for me as a coach, I know what these guys pour into it, so that hurts, right? So Oliveri being this close, that hurts. Shawver's done it before, but not to be able to do it again. And then of course Peterson, he should have won that match, and that's kind of what we were kind of thinking about. So yeah, that initially that stung hard, and I know how we're judged. I know it's about those 3 days, and so I knew that was going to be a tough off season, and sure enough it was. So
did you attack the transfer portal with Friday night in mind?
Yeah, I think you do that. Of course you always try to better your team. We don't ever write to over recruit. I think this was needs for us. Obviously, those 3 guys have been huge from a leadership standpoint. But yeah, we attacked it with you got to win on that Friday night, and obviously Pinto twice, Hunter, who you'll talk to once, blood round guys, they're dying to get over that hump. This sport is all about that weekend, so they're dying to be there, and so that's kind of why those were the targets, right? And they're very, very good, and they've won a lot, but certainly the target.
What has Lenny brought to this program? He comes from one of the best programs in the country.
Just a firecracker, just a ball of energy, wrestles. He's a great teammate. And you could tell that culture out in Lincoln is special. It's a great team. I always admired that from afar. They're great. Coach Madden does a great job in Snyder with building a culture of a team. That's why I really wanted to get Mike Labriola because now that's starting to happen. And believe it or not, those are our leaders. Lenny and Hunter Kaka are our leaders, like vocally. There's a bunch of guys that lead by example and just train really hard, but those guys have been our vocal leaders, and even Remy to some extent, but those two in particular, and they come from obviously Virginia Tech and Nebraska. So there's a lot of reasons we went after them. They're winning. Their success is certainly one of them, but I didn't think I was getting this. This is the most leadership, and that sounds crazy with a transfer portal kid. It's the most leadership we've had in our program in a long, long, long time.
But do you think that's because they feel like they have to make an impact and that they have to sort of prove that they belong?
No, I just think that's flat out where they come from, and I think that's kind of the way it is. I think that's the kind of the way it is, and that's not a knock. Again, a lot of our guys lead by example, and they work their tail off, and that's great. Dylan Shaver is going to be Dylan Shaver, and he's going to do, and he leads by his example, and Joey's the same way, and Clark's the same way, but these guys are more vocal about it. They want to have a good team. They want to have a good team, and that's been really, really cool these first 2 months.
Vocal. By vocal, what do you mean exactly?
They talk about, they bring guys in. They don't have to be the one. I don't have to be the one. Hey, everybody up, 1, 2, 3 team, 1, 2, 3. They're the ones talking to the team, And listen, we still have Andy, we still have Joey, we still have Dylan, and there's definitely some senior leadership. But these guys have been really, really good for the young guys, and that's kind of just they're finishing out the condition. It's not so much coach driven, if that makes sense. It's athlete driven, and if the athletes are saying it, they're going to probably listen.
About the portal, the last 3 heavyweights at Rutgers have been transfers: Boone McDermott, Yara, and now Hunter. Why do you think that is? Is that a weight that's more conducive to it? Is it just
maybe just not doing? It's a weight where it's hard to recruit, right? There's a lot of football players up there, so. Like, for example, we have Brandon Toronzo. He's the only heavyweight in our lineup. Now, we landed one of the best kids in the country. That's a couple years out last week. But, we haven't been able to land a blue chip type kid. So it's just so happens we've been able to go in the portal where we haven't had to worry about it. So, and heck, if Brandon isn't ready, and we'll know because he'll get some matches this year, we'll go in this year to build some depth up there and get some guys. So for whatever reason, heavyweight is it's a weight you need. It's like 125. It's like a quarterback, right? You got to recruit one every single year. You're going to recruit a quarterback because you need them. It's the same thing. You need a 25 and you need heavyweights. So we're going to try to bring in 3 or 4, even if it's from a workout standpoint. You got to have them on the roster.
And Joey's success last year. Obviously, it was his first year as a full-time starter after pulling his red shirt each of the last 2 years. How much do you think him starting the whole year helped with that progression?
Yeah, I never really thought about it. I know. Pulling his red shirt, he was wrestling a lot in that first semester, and he was going to Midlands, and he was beating nationally ranked guys. So even though he wasn't in dual meets, we didn't have many big ones first semester, so it wasn't a crazy deal. But yeah, it was cool to have him in the lineup all the time, and he's a staple in there. He's won a lot of duels for us. He's been really, really good for us. So yeah, I think it certainly helped being the guy. I think it's helped him now this year. I think him not winning at the national tournament in the blood round has driven him maybe the most that I've seen. He's just super locked in, and I don't want to say selfish because that's not the right word, but he is about every single minute of the day is on this season and focused on this season. That could be a good or bad thing. He's got to enjoy this process a little bit, and if you know Joey Oliveri, it's just one way, and I got to try to get him to enjoy this a little bit. But he's hell-bent on getting it done this year, so we'll see what happens.
I know it's a long way off, but to open the Big Ten schedule with that match.
Yeah, you got to wrestle them anyway. I don't know, they keep giving us Penn State. I would like to go to Iowa. I'd like Iowa to come here, switch up a little bit, but they give us Penn State every year, I think, because of travel.
Yes.
Which, yeah, whatever. We're got to wrestle them at some point. Might as well be the first one out of the gate. We'll be well rested, so that's good, coming off the break. So
We got time for a few more.
Talking about recruiting, you guys have been on fire these past 2 weeks, 4 huge recruits. Talk to me about what's been your guys' approach this year of just being so successful already.
Best kids in the country. That's it. Trying to get guys that win at a national level, right? Super 32 this past weekend. Our guys won at a national level. Guys win in Fargo. They're winning at a national level. Can't be surrounded by this state, right? We've had Coach Middich and Labs, right? Coach Middich in particular has been crazy in the Lehigh Valley. It's Pennsylvania. It's Pennsylvania. We're in Pennsylvania. So that's just the bottom line. I love Jersey. I will continue to recruit this state, but we have to go national. And if it's California, we're going to go to California. And if it's Ohio, it's Ohio. If it's Indiana, it's Indiana. We've got guys on our team. I think if you look at our roster now, it used to be 90% Jersey. It's probably 45% Jersey now. So it's a little bit we have to be national. We need the best guys in the country, and that's the reason for.
One last question. Coach Shane had a great year last year. Really broke out. What can you see from him this year, and kind of as he develops more in that role, 184?
I liked last year at this time he was pushed. Does that make sense? He was pushed by somebody else. So now we have to make sure he's getting pushed every day. There's got to be a sense of urgency to be great, right? When you're a walk-on, he was a walk-on. It's a great story, but he was being pushed every day because he wanted to be the guy. So we got to make sure we can push him every single day so he has his foot to the gas every single day so he can continue to go upward trend. But he's very, very good, loves this sport. He loves wrestling. So that's a good thing. So we're excited for his season for sure. Sound good, guys? Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Enjoy it. Enjoy these guys.